Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw of Insider Travel Report, and I'm here today with actually two people that we've interviewed before. It was a while ago, but we're here for an update. I'm here with Reposite co-founders Alexa Barubi. Is that right?
Yep,
Okay.
that works.
And Heather Stupai. And is that right? Okay.
Yes, correct.
I should remember these, but and we're going to talk to them today about Reposite, what it is, how it's progressed over the last couple of years, and where it's headed. And it may be of interest to all you travel advisors out there because it's a B2B solution. And I think it's a very innovative one. And we're going to find out all about that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Alexa, we did interview you a couple of years ago, I believe. I got to look
Yep.
back to see. It was back in the old COVID days. And we're still here on Zoom. I mean, we should do this live. I don't know. We are still stuck with Zoom. Can you remind us a bit about what Reposite is and what it does?
Absolutely. So the real issue that we're solving with Reposite is the fact that it is literally impossible to book group travel online today. And so when you think about all the major players in the tech travel ecosystem, most of them focus on the consumer. So sites like TripAdvisor and Expedia and OpenTable and Resi for restaurants, it's very easy to go online and book if you're doing it for less than 10, less than 15 people. The second you cross that threshold into groups, which we define, and I believe the industry defines in general as 10 or more folks,
Right.
you're sent to a phone number, believe it or not, or a private events form on an individual company's website, which might not be the biggest deal if you need to plan one dinner reservation or one group outing. But if you are a B2B professional travel planner, and you're doing exclusively groups, your whole business essentially is forced to operate offline. And so each time you're requesting pricing for dinner, for transportation, for hotels, for activities, all of that's coming back to you over the phone or email.
Mm-hmm.
And your work lives in just a million different places. And so that to Heather and I just felt really unacceptable. That's what we really clung to. We're like, we have to build a solution for this. There has to be space for it. When we started to look at how big the industry is, we did uncover that the B2B group travel space, this is pre-COVID numbers, of course, but we're spiking right back up there over the last couple months. It's a $127 billion industry that, again, essentially has been forced to operate almost entirely offline. And so what we've built through Reposite is an all-in-one workspace solution to basically move from outdated spreadsheets and folders and email into one centralized workspace. So we give group travel planners the ability to create and track trips through the system, discover new vendors to work with, request custom pricing, manage all of those quotes from a centralized dashboard, price compare, decide who they want to move forward with, very easily book, pull all of that into an itinerary or client-facing proposal, and then manage their payment schedule too. And so you can think of us really in the middle of the full B2B group travel kind of workflow tool. And then Heather will talk more about this later on, but we did develop a supplier side of our marketplace since we last spoke. And so we do work with activities, hotels, venues, restaurants, you name it, and we give them access to these group travel leads.
So my next question was going to be what kind of need you saw, but clearly you saw a real need and you're trying to fulfill that big time with this group travel solution for B2B. And let's move on with what you just discussed. Heather, how has Reposite changed since we last spoke a few years ago? How has your strategy changed, if at all?
Yeah, when we first started, we were really focused on building that all-in-one workspace for travel planners. But since we last spoke, we just worked very closely with our existing users, and we were just following that they were gravitating towards some of the features within Reposite that were really focused on reaching out to, communicating with, getting pricing from the suppliers that were going to be in their itineraries. And so that concept of searching for the right supplier for the itinerary, sending out quote requests, getting the pricing back, price comparing, communicating all in one place, we've really spun out since we last spoke, a marketplace. And that marketplace allows the travel planner today to create a project and now get matched with the ideal suppliers for that itinerary. And we work across so many different categories of suppliers. We don't just focus on hotels or restaurants. We also do activities and transportation companies, and really anything that can be in an itinerary is what we can help connect to the travel advisors.
No, that's great. And so obviously you've expanded your reach and got some feedback on what you've been doing, and hopefully now you have an even more useful tool here. Alexa, now how and what can travel advisors find and book on Reposite today, or in terms of group travel, and how does this differ from what we can find? You already mentioned a little bit about this, what we can find on a GDS or supplier sites direct, because they don't really have that group travel function, right?
Exactly. So we are hyper-focused on groups, but we work across 10 core categories of suppliers. So advisors can book hotels, activities, restaurants, venues, catering companies, transportation, hired entertainment, staffing, and more. So pretty much a full workflow suite. And then where I say we really focus on when it comes to us onboarding our supply side of things is local, on the ground, unique experiences. I think, as you kind of hit the nail on the head, not many other tools focus on groups, but also a lot of local, on the ground, kind of authentic suppliers can't afford to go to the big trade shows and have a booth or be a part of some of the more exclusive networks that exist out there. And so we want to give those suppliers a voice and give them access to the travel advisors, because we believe at the end of the day, if the travel advisors can find the really cool, unique stuff that their travelers really want to experience through them, that kind of completes the full circle, right? So that's what we're focused on.
Now, obviously, a lot of travel advisors, although some have migrated off to other reservation systems, but a lot of them still are focused on the GDSs. So, Heather, how does Reposite work, if at all, with the existing reservation systems? How can travel advisors really integrate it into their work routines?
Yeah, so we make it really easy to get started on Reposite. You basically sign up. You create your profile, and then immediately you can create your first project. You can enter in all your details about what that project is, who it's for, what the budget is, where you're going, how many people. And then with a couple clicks of a button, you can start to find suppliers. You can create basically an RFP for suppliers that you're looking for, and you can post that to the marketplace within just a couple minutes of getting signed up. And the beautiful thing about our marketplace is that once you can post your need and say, I'm looking for this type of a supplier at this date, at this time, at this place, we'll take that and we'll, within 24, sometimes 48 hours tops, we'll get you back suppliers that have provided their availability, their pricing, all that other kind of stuff. And so what used to take hours of Googling, and Google's not set up for this, and trying to research and going through binders and going through your spreadsheets, now you can put the RFP out there and see what comes back. And there's really nothing you have to do except for sit back and wait. And so we just make it really easy to incorporate into your workflow. We're not trying to say you must use this instead of this. It's really complementary with a travel agent's existing workflow.
And of course, the travel advisors also will get back stuff maybe they didn't know about that
exactly
suppliers.
That element of discovery is so powerful.
Right. Got it. Let's talk a little bit about something. What is the cost to use Reposite, if any, both for travel advisors, for travel suppliers, and I guess the corollary to ask that, because I know you're probably not doing this for free, is how do you make money, you guys? I mean, we don't want to see you out on the street just as this is so we really want you to make some money and make this work. So Alexa, how first of all, what is the cost to use Reposite for travel advisors and suppliers, and two, how do you make money, you guys?
That's a great question. So on the travel planner side, we have a basic plan. The basic plan is no charge. So with that, advisors can create projects and trips. They can request quotes from our suppliers. They can post listings to our marketplace. They can manage their supplier communication, and they can book, again, all for free at no charge. We do have a premium package that's in the works that we plan to roll out towards the end of this year or early next year. In the premium package, we're going to have some more workflow tools. So like the ability to save templates, do pretty complex itineraries, commission tracking, and we're still open to other things to throw in there. So if you are a Reposite user, feel free to speak up.
Okay.
But we're really excited about that today, and how we've monetized over the past has been on the supplier side. And so the suppliers pay us a flat fee. It's a subscription for basically unlimited tailored group travel leads. And that's pretty much it. And then
So
we have a
yeah.
payments layer that runs throughout as well. So we do make money on invoices being sent through the platform as well.
So for the most part, until you put in the premium level for travel advisors, you're making money from the suppliers who want to, use you for their, average sort of bring out their group travel services and connect them with travel advisors, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, cool. Now, Alexa, I'll keep it with you. Have you tested this now with travel agencies? What's the reaction so far?
We have. So since we last spoke, we've obviously scaled up a pretty good amount over the past year or so. So now we have hundreds of active users on the travel advisor side, thousands on the supplier side. And the reactions on both have been super positive. I think just to like double down on it, there's such few solutions that exist. One, to serve the B2B travel space, and two, within that specifically, the groups market is vastly underserved. And so to be able to give people the tools to actually move their business online and not be forced to work out of 10 different systems if they do want to run online has been, I think, just like a really powerful thing. I've had a few people almost shed tears on demos. And so it's been very, very good. It's definitely the best part of the days.
So if I'm a travel agency, I'm very curious about that. You'll do a demo for me, and then you might put me in touch with some other agencies that have been using it and get their reaction, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now, Heather, I understand that you are getting more funding for this project. What do you intend to do with that money, and how will you change or maybe help promote Reposite using it?
Yes, we just raised a $7.5 million round. So with that, we're partnering with, again, some existing investors, Liberty City Ventures, Greatcroft, also bringing in some new investors in Math and also BDMI. So we're just so grateful to have such incredible partners in our court who believe in what we're doing. With that, what we're doing just as a whole is we're taking this industry that has been operating offline and really moving it online. And there's a lot of opportunity to use data for the first time. And so if you can imagine, travel advisors are putting in a lot of data to even create a project on Reposite. Like what we said before, the dates, the locations, the budgets, the number of people, and then they're creating proposals and itineraries using suppliers. And there's different combinations of suppliers, and there's all different ways that you can put together. And that's really the magic of what a travel advisor does. What we're hoping to do is over time, use that data and really help to make smarter recommendations for them, to even take the work out of having to manually try to find things. We really feel like data can do most of the heavy lifting here and put together these inspired itineraries based on what's really happening in real life and make those matches really smart and really data driven. And so we're going to be focusing on data, focusing on building out the tech. And we've always focused on the product. That's what's brought us here. Because if at the end of the day, we don't have a product that people love and can't live without, then what are we doing? So that focus will remain.
That's great. And I'm glad you got additional funding, and it obviously validates your strategy and your product. When you get more people say, hey, this looks great, let's put some more into it. Now, actually, one thing I did forget, Alexa, we talked about where travel advisors can go to sort of test out Reposite, get a demo, and suppliers as well. Where can they go to find out, or at least get in touch with you folks to test this out?
Totally. So very simple. They can just go to reposite.io. And there's a big button in the middle that says request a demo. From there, an account manager from Reposite will reach out within the same day, and we'll be able to get you all set up.
And that goes for advisors and suppliers, right?
Yes, both audiences.
Okay. And then again, it's reposite.io which is
Yes, .io, not .com.
not .com, not .travel, not whatever. Okay. Now, Heather, in the end, I mean, you talked a little bit about it, but what do you hope Reposite becomes? I mean, as you get more funding and you were able to build out what you need and market it.
Yeah, we just feel like this whole industry of travel professionals has been completely overlooked by technology. And you see it with almost every travel tech tool out there. It's really focused on the consumer or focused on these small, maybe family groups traveling 2, 4, maybe 6 people.
Right.
But the whole concept of group travel being planned by travel professionals, they're forgotten about. And so our vision is to provide technology to this industry of travel professionals that are providing just an incredible service to groups traveling all around the world. No matter where you're going, we want to be the one-stop shop for you to be able to create all your projects, be able to create inspired itineraries, to use data to supercharge what they're already doing so that they can put the focus where it belongs on their clients. We don't want them worrying about all the administrative stuff that can bog them down. We really want them to deliver the service that they're really good at.
No, that's great. Now, Alexa, let's close it out. Is there anything else you want to tell our now it's 107,000 travel advisors?
Wow.
A lot of them came back after they went into hibernation during COVID. We got down to 75 at one point because we only work with active travel advisors. And now they're back. So we got 107 and growing. Anything else you want to tell them about Reposite? And I'll ask the same question of Heather right afterwards.
I think all I can say is we have an incredible team behind us, and we are so customer centric that beyond all the incredible technology we've built, they'll truly have a team here to support them. All of their feedback will be extremely heard. As you heard Heather say, we're still building and growing really quickly. And so it's an incredible time to be a part of the Reposite network because your feedback will be directly incorporated into the product that we are currently still building. And yeah, I think, again, I'd love to see some more shedding tears of happiness on demos, and we'd love to have you as part of the Reposite family.
Fantastic. Heather, anything else to go out to our viewership?
Yeah, I would say as advisors come back and travel roars back to life, I think it's an opportunity to just rethink how you do things. And just because you did it a certain way 2 years ago doesn't mean that it has to be done that way. It could be so much easier. And the way we're set up is that there's no risk to try it, at least on the advisor side. And to be able to get the value and see what we're talking about is going to totally change your life. And so we're just excited to work with you guys.
Fantastic. And you are really on a hot button. Group travel is really one of the areas where travel advisors make a lot of money. And whether you're an independent contractor or internal, there are a lot of independent contractors out there who affiliated with host agencies that really make their money on group travel. So your product seems to be just really tailored in for that. And so I hope you're going to see a lot of success here. Now, Reposite, REPOSITE .io, and go take a look and then reach out to either Heather or Alexa or one of their team, and you can get a demo of how this group product works, whether you're a supplier looking at this or obviously whether you're a travel advisor. Again, I want to thank both of you for coming on again, and we should do this again when, as you grow and see how it works out even more.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us again.
Thanks, James.
I'm James Schillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.